Is NATO done? A serious question. It's not letting me toggle because I'm recording. So I can't read verbatim the post I made a day or so ago. I'm not sure when this will exactly air as video exclusive for March of 2026. I posted, should across my 15 plus social media platforms, should the U.S., is it time finally for the U.S. to declare NATO a dead organization and withdraw from NATO? Let NATO exist on its own without the United States. Now, before you answer that question, I want you to go back to beforeitsnews.com, tinyurl.com/JLD articles, or tinyurl.com/JLD on B4IN, and read my piece from 2018. Trump finally trying to get NATO to pay its fair share, and will it be different this time? I was asking that in 2018. We keep hearing now Trump saying, I got them to pay not just 2%, but 5%. Well, my post asks, is it, I know you, like me, many of you like me, are sick and tired of the United States being the ATM of the world, the backstop of the world, while everybody else uses us and coasts. Oh, the big bad USA will back us up. We can just coast. We can stiff our duties. And we're tired of it. So please read that from 2018. There is a 2026 update regarding what's going on in Iran and our allies that are more frenemies, less and less of an ally, especially Turkey, and now even UK, France, Germany, and especially Spain. I'll get into that in a minute. No, they're not all paying 2%. Most of them are now finally living up to the 2% obligation, but reports are Spain still is not. And this 5% they're promising, oh, by 2030, when Trump's out of office. No, 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 no. So, I dare say, let's take it in stages. Spain, you still refuse to pay 2% of GDP. You are in breach of the NATO contract, period. No ifs, no ands, no buts, no question about it, supposedly, if we believe the reports. It's not like I get the intelligence briefings. It's not like I get the accounting spreadsheets to prove or disprove that. But let's, for the sake of argument, indeed say that is indeed true. Okay, Spain, you're in breach. The United States is no longer going to honor an Article 5 call from you. Don't even bother to call us. We're not going to answer the phone. You're in breach of the NATO contract. We no longer consider you a valid NATO nation, period. And unless you get by the end of 2026, not future promises, 2026, 2% by the NATO agreement of your GDP spent on defense, and really defense, not quasi, DEI in your version of the Pentagon. No, that's not a legitimate defense spending. Legitimate 2%. on your own defense. By the end of 2026, the United States of America in 2027 will pull, not maybe, not possibly, will. We will withdraw all United States military assets and support from the territory of Spain. Period. No re-entry. 5-year probation. And then everybody else, if we do that, finally get serious about the NATO contract. If the other nations then refuse to also step up and meet their obligations, we will do that with other NATO nations, because most of them will come in line. And as for that 5% for 2030 and beyond, no. 2027, 3.5%. 2028, 4.5%. 2029, 4.5% again. 2030, then 5% then and beyond. If you do not meet any of those milestones anywhere along the way, we will not honor Article 5 calls from you. And we will also redeploy all our military assets out of your nation, which helps your economy, where we have troops. U.S. troops are being paid in U.S. dollars and spending those U.S. dollars in your economy, adding to your GDP. So even if you pay 5% of your GDP, guess what? A lot of that money is our money still. It's already still our money you're promising to spend. And if more and more and more of them fail to meet the obligations before Trump's out of office, then okay. Seriously time to ask the question, is NATO dead and should we withdraw? Say, you're on your own. No more will the USA be the ATM and backstop of the world. You refuse to honor your obligation, we withdraw from NATO. Period. And all our troops are coming home. All our assets are coming home. All our bases are going to close down. You are on your own. Then they will have to step up or let Russia run over them. Oh, not our problem. We told you. We warned you. FAFO. The days of the United States and weak presidents saying one thing but allowing you to get away with another is done. Done. Over. I've had this discussion with Rick Walker on Maverick News out of Ontario, Canada, on his show many times. We are done. No more the ATM of the world. No longer we barely have enough national security structure to build what we need to defend ourselves, let alone be the arsenal of democracy and for the entire world anymore. We've allowed our national security to be outsourced to others. And we, as citizens and the nation, are suffering for it. But as Trump has said, I agree. I've always been on that page. Make America great again. America first does not, never has, never will mean America alone or America only. But it does also mean if you're an ally and expect us to be your ally, we expect you to honor your obligations and act like an ally, not a frenemy. So, serious question, please, tinyurl.com, JLD articles, dig up the old from 2018, scroll on down through the many articles I've been writing since 2015. 2018, the piece about Trump making NATO allies spend their fair share. But now, 2026, 8 years after I wrote that, I am indeed, like you, fed up. His first term, he said one thing, he got promises, but during the Biden years, did they honor the agreement they made with Trump in his first term? No, they did not. We're still here today where we were in 2018. In 2026, 8 years later. So enough. Tough love, real world, FAFO, we mean it. We're going to do it. And Spain and Turkey need to be the first examples made. Throw them out of NATO. We no longer are Article 5 for you. You're done. You're gone. We are not going to protect you at all anymore. Put the others on notice. They start shaping up, or we completely ship out. Now, I get it. Again, what did I just say? America first does not mean America alone or America only. I have argued over and over. I support the action in Iran. We cannot let them get a nuclear weapon. The oceans don't protect us. There's these things called hypersonic bombers, intercontinental bombers, ICBMs. And if Iran gets a nuclear weapon and ICBM, they've already shown, they've been saying, oh, we don't have long-range missiles. What did they do just a few days ago? Shoot off a long-range missile or an intermediary mid-range missile that now we know, we've seen with our own eyes. We all know it. Iran has the technology to hit Berlin, London, Madrid, Paris, all the European nation capitals. And we're next on their target list. Remember, they call Israel the little Satan. They call the United States the big Satan. Their ultimate goal is a mushroom cloud over Tel Aviv and New York City and potentially over D.C. Do you dumbasses want to wait till that happens? So we can't be America alone, but at the same time, we can't be America that always suckered by everybody else. So the action in Iran is in the interest of America and America first. We're putting our security first in this action to make sure that they cannot have what they, because I've said it before, important to know, you don't need an ICBM. They also have now openly claimed they have the materials for almost a dozen nuclear weapons. They said it. That's not our intelligence. Now, can we believe them? Are they lying? When they're chanting death to America, it's like Hitler and Mein Kampf. When your enemy is telling you they want to genocide you, believe them. It's stupid to not. So even if they do or don't have the materials for 11 nuclear weapons now, they will have it soon. We cannot wait till there's a nuclear cloud over New York City. Wake up, people. Neville Chamberlainism was a failure then, it's a failure now. This is an America First move as well as protecting our European allies. So if our allies aren't going to step up, then we're going to have to re-strategize our own national security interests of indeed withdrawing from NATO and continuing to build and strategize how and where we position troops, and especially our Navy, to protect us first and foremost. And yes, if a conflict breaks out in Europe, guess what? Yes, we're going to have to get involved to some degree, because eventually it's not, I'm not a globalist. You know that. Most people I know aren't, but most people I know also aren't libertarian, Neville Chamberlain, isolationist moron types that think the oceans protect us. If Europe is embroiled in war, it affects us economically here also, whether we're involved militarily or not. So it drags us down, it affects us. Okay, I've gone off on a tangent now. So what's that balance? That's the problem. Kick Spain out now, get the others in line. So hopefully we can keep the NATO alliance together and strong for all of our benefits, not just theirs, but ours in a reasonable way also. And if they're not, but if they're not going to do it, they're not going to do it. Then there has to be consequences. Okay, you're out of NATO. We won't honor Article 5 unless we feel we need to get involved for America's safety, America's interests. Okay, so should we withdraw after making an example of Spain is the open question. I hope you chime in. Again, please read the 2018 article before it's news with the 2026 update in there on some of this. This video exclusive is an extension of that update to the article. We need to think about this. We need to be rational. We can't just knee-jerk pull out for the sake of, like the UN. No, we need to exert more pressure and more authority in the UN. Yes, we need to demand the UN is here. We're already paying too much. You will cut your budget and you will get back to the United Nations peace mission. They spend more and more and more of mostly our money, and there's less peace than ever everywhere around the world. So we need to not just pull out of the UN. I contend move the UN building to Tel Aviv, then all those anti-Semite nations that support terrorism, if they're actually have delegates in harm's way, they might shape up a little too. So let's move the UN headquarters and exert more American control and pressure, not less. Yes, give them less money, but us exert more power. Same thing Trump is doing with NATO. Exert more pressure, exert more authority, or indeed, eventually, yes, if you're not going to shape up, we will ship out. But that, knowing that, ultimately can come back to bite us in the butt. So we can't just willy-nilly, emotionally make a knee-jerk reaction. Yeah, let's just pull out of the UN and NATO and pull up our drawbridge and pretend the oceans protect us. You're a Neville Chamberlain moron if you think that can happen, will happen. It may work for a while, but ultimately the shit's gonna come home. The chickens will come home to roost in our backyard too. Anyway, thank you all. I've rambled too much now. Thank you all. Take care. God bless it. Like I say here, tough love. The Bible in full context. Jesus not just singing around the campfire, singing kumbaya. The tough love parts of the Bible too. And with our allies, we have to exert tough love here and mean it when we say it and back it up if they don't do what they agree to do. And Spain needs to be made an immediate example of in 2026, not maybe a couple years from now or the next president, or no more kicking cans down the road. Garbage. Take care. God bless. Love you all.
It ain't all sweet songs by the fire, warm hands, soft words, pretty choirs. If I cut out the thorns from the story, I'd be dressing up a grave as glory. This is tough love gospel, not just campfire shine. If I sand down the edges, I turn truth into a lie. Reality or delusion, I can't serve both sides. I'm not here just for the choir, I'm here where the hurt hearts hide. Yeah. Some pages bleed red in the margins, hard lines, hard calls, hard bargains. If I skip over storms for your comfort, then your house gets washed in the flood water. This is tough love gospel, not just campfire shine. If I sand down the edges, I turn truth into a lie. Reality or delusion, I can't serve both sides. I'm not here just for the choir, I'm here where the hurt hearts hide. Oh, do you want a dream or do you want a mirror? Do you want a joke or do you want it clearer? If the truth cuts deep, let it cut through fear. Better scars that heal than a sweet lie in your ear. This ain't cotton candy truth, ain't a campfire sing-along rhyme. You can't sell sweet dreams while the house burns behind. If it never cuts deep, it was sugar all along. If you skip the hard pages, you just rewrote the song. This is tough love gospel, not rainbows on a wire. If you hide the hard words, you're just fanning the fire. I won't preach delusion just to make it sound lighter. If I only soothe the choir, I'm a singer, not a fighter. You can hum all the feel-good lines while your neighbor breaks inside. Quote hope like a slogan and look away from the crime. But a bandage on a bullet wound is a pretty little lie if the truth never offends us. Did we ever even try? This is tough love gospel, not rainbows on a wire. If you hide the hard word, you're just fanning the fire. I won't preach delusion just to make it sound lighter. If I only soothe the choir, I'm a singer, not a fighter. I'd rather lose that crowd than sell them painted grace. I'd rather stand alone and smile and and dodge the weight. Don't ask for easy comfort, then curse the honest cost. Love that never warns you will leave you more than lost. This is tough love gospel, not rainbows on a wire. If you hide the hard words, you're just fanning the fire. I won't preach delusion just to make it sound lighter. If I only soothe the choir, I'm a singer, not a fighter. Oh, if I dress up the danger, I'm a liar, not a writer. Tough love. The Bible isn't just rainbows and lollipops, singing kumbaya around the campfire. You cannot ignore the harsh reality drops. To peddle such makes you a liar. Reality versus delusion, speaking not just to the choir. This, that, and in all things transpires.
Like and subscribe to Constitutionalist Politics Podcast and share episodes. We need your help.
Thank you for having tuned into another Constitutionalist podcast show. I really appreciate that you stopped by. Again, please like, share, subscribe. We need you to help spread the Constitutionalist movement. Thank you again. Take care. God bless. Love you all.